Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back. So today we have a new brushless micro, or a brushless whoop, whatever you want to call it. It's an 80mm whoop and it's called the Gofly Scorpion, and now this is made by Spedix. Now as I know, I think at least the ESCs are made by Spedix, and the motors are basically no branded motors. They have no name on them. And it's using a little 25mm VTX and a Hakcrc camera. Now, before continuing on, there's something that's really nice, and there's also some little drawbacks here and there about this model. First of all, they provide you with a 2S LiPo, not high volt, LiPo, and it's rated for 300 milliamps. However, if you fly it with this LiPo, you're not really going to enjoy it that much. I mean, for example, if I'm going through a door and the wind or the turbulence will actually knock this down. It'll lose its altitude. You need to put more throttle for it to keep its attitude correctly. So in that perspective, this battery is really a no-go, especially outdoors. You're not gonna be able to do much with this. We'll come back to the batteries in a bit. Now, as you can tell, the execution is pretty nice, but they could have done, a bit better here. As you can tell, this is how exactly I got it, and I've been flying it. Just a piece of tape here that holds one of the antennas from the XM, as well as your dipolar antenna for your VTX, and the other one is just taken out here. I just left it here, and I was just gonna fly it and see if it rips or anything, and so far it didn't, so that's really great in that perspective. Now, one of the main things that I really like about this is a very simple thing, actually. It's this here. So out of the box, it comes with this plastic piece for those, this is very, I don't know why this is a new trend now, but these are really terrible battery trays. I mean, it's much easier to make something like this. So they give you two and you can replace it. So I went ahead and put this one on. All it is 4 screws. I lost one screw because they're really, really tiny. And they also give you an anti-slip pad here, as you can tell right there. So I just stuck that there. It's working really great. Now, also something about, let's go back to the batteries now. Now, the batteries, I've tried 2 different batteries. I've tried 300 milliamp 3S high volt from Happy Model, which this came with my Mobula 7 HD. I tried the GNB 300 HVs. These are also 3S. And I tried the UAV 2S HVs. Now, the 2S HVs, it's okay, but the flight time is not really great on a 2S. On a 2S, you're looking probably like 1.5 minutes of flight time, which is very disappointing because it performs pretty good. So it turns out it's rated for a 3S, and definitely you want to be running this on a 3S, especially if you're going to take this outdoors. Indoors, it's really good. However, it's very around 50% throttle. Just the slightest 5% throttle will make you launch into the ceiling. So you're going to have to dial in some expo for your throttle in order to have it much more controllable. But obviously, if I gave it more time, I can get used to the power, because the power is somewhere right in the middle. So on the 3S, it ran really good, especially HV LiPos, especially this one here. I'll have it linked down below. The GNB 300 milliamp 3S HV LiPos. These are really, really great for such little brushless micros. So yeah, these are awesome. This one is really just, it's a normal LiPo 2S 300 also, but it's not really that great. And obviously it comes with Xt30. So most of everything is Xt30 now, which is really nice. They're using a pretty good camera. It's a Hakcrc. It's a 4x3, as I believe, not the 16x9. XM plus radios in the back. The execution overall looks pretty good. What I can tell you is on a 3S, it's really fast, but still the flight time is quite low, I would say, especially on 300 milliamps, around 2.5 minutes of not really going super fast because I don't want to break it. Now, let's talk about the frame here. The frame is all plastic, and it seems to be, it has some flex to it, but it also seems to be like it could be very fragile, especially on the parts where it's connected to other things. For example, I can see the screws stripping out, especially if you don't know how to fly or you're going to be taking this indoor. I think on a 3S, you can make a lot of damage. It's really, it's nice. It has some flex to it, but it also feels like it could break. But yeah, the overall durability, I don't think is going to, last many crashes very well. Propellers, they only give you 1 set. They fly really great. I didn't have any issues. No jello in the feed. That was really cool. And also the motors are handling very well on 3S. They're not getting hot, and I'm just enjoying them. Also, the voltage on the OSD is somewhat accurate. It's off by probably around 0.3. I would say, at least on mine, around 0.3, because I almost under discharged my 2S ones. So it is very power hungry, even though it's super light. I don't understand why it's taking so much power here. It's 43 grams, so I don't understand why it's soaking up. Maybe the propellers. I think, you know what? By the way, I'm going to start testing these types of motors for the brushless micros and propellers. I have a setup coming on the way. I talked with RC Benchmark. They're going to send me their smaller thrust stands. And I'm going to modify to run these motors and these propellers in order for us to test them and get, just to know which one is the best motor for a brushless whoop, because there isn't really much info about them out there. And I think I could do it. So I have enough little brushless micros and motors. So I think I'm going to start doing that. And the overall execution looks pretty good, even though it's no-name motors and everything. But, Spedix made it. Spedix is a pretty good company, even though sometimes they have really shitty ESCs. But overall, they make pretty good stuff. Now, I don't know what is exactly made from Spedix on this, but I could tell you one thing. I'm sure at least it's the ESCs, because that's what they do usually. And, well, I'll have everything linked down below. I'm going to leave you guys with the flight footage from the 3S. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was very twitchy, or I don't want to say twitchy, but very sensitive at specific throttles where I just find myself launching. So it just takes time to get used to, like any other quadcopter. And, well, that's it, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.